Dang, man, you check me out. Recording. Exponential study guide. My first equation is f of x equals 4 raised to the x. So in my calculator, I hit mode 7 and 4 raised to the x. My start point was -3. My end point was 3. I end up getting my table. -3 is 1 over 32. -2 is 1 over 16. -1 is 1 over 4. 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, 16, and 364. Then I took those points and I graphed them, and I made my graph here. I plotted my points. My asymptote was y equals 0. You can look at the equation and tell that as well, that there's nothing adding or subtracting. And so I label my graph negative infinity, positive infinity, x and y. Asymptote is 0. I label my positive infinity. You can write on this while you're doing the video too. Alright, so my domain, negative infinity to positive infinity. Forever to the left, forever to the right. As you see right here, my graph doesn't stop, so it goes forever to the left, forever to the right. Range is my y values. It starts at 0 and goes forever up. My graph, if we look at it, is going up from left to right. So we see it is going up from left to right. So that means it is increasing. And it's increasing from negative infinity to positive infinity. In behavior, as x goes to negative infinity, y goes to 0. So as x goes to negative infinity to the left, y goes to 0. Alright, and as x goes to the right, to positive infinity, y goes up to positive infinity. My y-intercept, as you can see here, is 0, 1. Crosses the y-axis. My x-intercept, there isn't one because it does not cross the asymptote of y equals 0, and my asymptote is y equals 0. Problem 2, y equals 1 over 4 raised to x minus 3. I put this in my calculator. I did mode 7, fraction button, 1 over 4 raised to the x minus 3. Start point -3, end point 3. I get my points right here. I take them to my graph and I graph them. My asymptote is -3. I plot my points. You can see my graph is going down. I label negative infinity and positive infinity, my x and y axis, my asymptote, and my positive infinity on my y axis. My domain is negative infinity to positive infinity because it's a curved line. It goes forever from left to right. My range starts at my asymptote of -3 and goes up forever. So it's -3 to positive infinity. It is decreasing. As we can see, it goes down from left to right. From left to right, you can see the graph is going down, is decreasing. So it's decreasing from negative infinity to positive infinity because it never stops going down from left to right. And behavior is x goes to negative infinity, that means left. Y goes, as x goes left, y goes up to positive infinity. As x goes to positive infinity, that's to the right. As x goes to the right, y is stopping at -3, the asymptote. Alright, my y-intercept, we look at our graph. It is 0, -2. My x-intercept is -0.60 because that's where it crosses the x-axis at. Alright, and then my asymptote we know is y equals -3 because it's in our equation and it's in our graph. Alright, the last one is a linear function. I do mode 7. I type in -3 alpha x. Alpha close parentheses to get my x minus 2. my start point -3, my end point 3. I get my table. I make my graph here. I label my x-axis, my y-axis, positive and negative infinity for my x and positive and negative infinity for my y. Domain, the line goes forever left to right. Range, forever from down to up. As you can see, it goes forever from left to right and forever from down to up. It is decreasing. You can look, the line is going down from left to right, and you can look at the slope until it has a negative slope from negative infinity to positive infinity. In behavior, as x goes to the left, to negative infinity, y is going up. As x goes left, y goes up. As x goes left, y goes up. Alright. As x goes right, y goes down. So as x goes right, y goes down. And then my y-intercept is 0, -2. It's one above. It's right there, 0, -2. That's where it crosses the y-axis at. And you can look at your equation and find your y-intercept right there for the linear. And my x-intercept, I plugged in 0 for y. Added 2 to both sides, divided by -3. My x-intercept is -2 over 3, comma 0.